2025. Let's go, baby. We are exactly 3 months away from week 1, 2025. 12 more weeks to go, man. Pulling out my notebook. Let's get ready. Let's talk about week 1 a little bit. And some games I like, some games I'm interested in betting. I got all my breakdowns of all the games in the book. We are ready to roll. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this live stream. We're going to get it going, guys. We're going to talk some NFL football. We're going to talk some Aaron Rodgers. How about that? Signs a 1-year, $13 million deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that Pittsburgh Steelers roster is not looking too bad right now, man. When we take a look at it on paper, the Steelers offense is going to be okay. I don't think they're going to be great by any stretch of the imagination, but I think they have enough to win some games with that stellar defense, right? Still playing in a really, really tough division, guys. Extremely tough division. And we'll have to see how it goes, man. But with Aaron Rodgers under center, it definitely gives this team a little bit of stability for sure. I'm very excited to see what goes on with this offensive line of the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? So the offense, you got Freiermuth at tight end, DK Metcalf. You know, the running back situation, you know, we got Jalen Warren still there. And we got some other guys that are, you know, going to be in the mix a little bit, right? So we're getting closer and closer to week 1. The offensive line, you know, Broderick Jones has definitely been a disappointment. The 2023 first-round pick, back-to-back 50 grades. You know, Broderick Jones, the left tackle for the Steelers, has definitely struggled, guys. If you have any questions about week 1 or your favorite team, let me know in the comments down below. We're going to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about tonight. We'll do a straight-up Q&A as we get closer to the season. We're exactly 12 weeks away. 3 months to go. And then the NFL season will be starting. We had some interesting news this week, for sure, coming out of the Detroit Lions. The Lions said, do I eat drywall? Huh. Yeah, that's what I do. That's my regular consumption. You know, I like my bacon and eggs with a side of drywall. That's my favorite. My absolute favorite. Yeah, Frank Ragnow, center for the Detroit Lions, just retired. That was definitely something that I didn't foresee coming. And that Lions offensive line, which was the strength for the last few seasons, the middle of that offensive line definitely needs some upgrades for sure, guys. You know, we got, looks like rookie Tate Ratledge from Georgia penciled in at right guard right now. And then we got Graham Glasgow, the center, who was not good last year at all, you know? Uranium sauce? Bro, what are you talking about? NFL fans, welcome to the chat. If you're new to the channel, my name's Jay, host of the Jay All Day NFL Show. Former Bleacher Report writer turned YouTuber. We just crossed 15,000 subscribers, guys, thanks to you. So if you can, hit that like button for me and subscribe to the channel. I'll really appreciate it, guys. The offense still looks really good, though, man. We got Tyler Decker, Penny Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Javonte Williams, Jared Goff, David Montgomery. Still a really, really, really good unit, guys. You know, hopefully Aiden Hutchinson will come back for sure. Yeah, that's an interesting signing. Nick Chubb signing with the Texans, huh? When did that get announced? I'm a little weary about Nick Chubb's injury, man. He didn't look great last year, you know. Yeah, here it says 4 hours ago, it just broke. Running back Nick Chubb expected to sign with the Texans. Probably be the number 2 guy in that offense behind Joe Mixon. Probably, you know, not getting a lot of money. It's probably going to be a short-term deal, right? So, but yeah, I love Nick Chubb, man. But that injury, devastating injury. But, you know, maybe in split time with Joe Mixon, he could get back to form a little bit, right? The Texans, man, they need that offensive line. Definitely scares me for the Texans, guys. You know, when they dude, the Washington Commanders, man, what a steal that was, getting left tackle Laremy Tunsil from the Texans. Yeah, I don't know, man. No, I don't do Roblox, man. Yeah, that injury was a bad one, man. B-Edits. It was definitely a bad one. Thanks for tuning in to the live stream, guys. My name's Jay, host of the Jay All Day NFL Show. We're going to break down some NFL Week 1 games for you guys tonight. Just chat some NFL. If you got any questions about your team going into Week 1, let me know in the comments down below. Now, this is a Waterboy jersey, man. LSU Mud Dogs. Come on, man. You're not up on the Bobby Boucher? Come on, baby. The Bourbon Bowl. Bobby Boucher. What do I think about the record for the Chiefs? I think they're a 12-win team. They could be a 10-win team, depending on how healthy they are. But yeah, I think they're going to struggle. I mean, that division's a lot tougher than they were in the past. You know, I think the Raiders will be better. The Broncos are definitely better, and so are the Chargers. The Chargers had a really, really good draft, guys. Exceptional draft. Omarion Hampton, Trey Harris, two really, really good players, man, that are really going to revamp that offense. Anthony, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to the chat. Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson. Speaking of Jamar Chase, guys, if you're new to the channel, I just put out a video, my NFL Picks 2.0, and I'm giving away a free Jamar Chase 11x14 photo. But you got to go watch that video. Go to my homepage, check out my videos. It's 2025 NFL Picks and Predictions for Week 1 NFL games. My NFL Week 1 Picks 2.0. My latest video I put out long form, I'm giving away a free Jamar Chase autograph photo. So make sure you check out that video, guys. So the Lions, man, I think they're going to struggle a little bit, especially like the interior part of that offensive line. And then you got you got a new offensive coordinator, a new defensive coordinator, right? So I think they might struggle early on, but they still have a really good roster. And the defense played pretty good last year, even though there was a ton of injuries, right? Ton of injuries, man. So I think the Lions will be just fine. You know, the division got tougher too. You know, I like the Packers. I like what the Bears are doing. Tough division, man. Yeah, Anthony, I tend to agree with you, buddy. The Dolphins had a really weird draft. You know, when they went Kenneth Grant early on, I was really, really surprised. I thought they could have traded back and still got Kenneth Grant, you know, or a guy similar in skill set. So that was definitely a little surprising for me. And then they went Jonas Aviniea, the offensive lineman from Arizona, in round 2. And then they didn't have a 3rd and 4th round pick, right? So I think they're definitely on the fence of what's going on with Tua. I think he's one concussion away from his career being over, man. So, and Tyreek Hill, he's definitely a guy that I would be annoyed at it being in my locker room, right? They weren't like super far away from like making the playoffs last year, guys, and he still was like a huge pain in the ass. And remember, they didn't have Tua for like the majority of the beginning half of the year, right? So, very annoying. What team? The only team that would have drafted him, Anthony, I think, is Arizona. And they went Walter Nolan. And Walter Nolan, I like better than Kenneth Grant. Honest to God. I think Kenneth Grant benefited a lot from Mason Graham. You know what I mean? He got a lot more one-on-ones. I think Kenneth Grant might be a bust. I'm calling it. I think he might be a bust. Yeah, the CTE Tua prods, man. It's sad to say. I mean, the Dolphins haven't drafted well. I mean, look, they let go Vic Fangio, and then he goes and wins the Super Bowl. So obviously the culture in Miami isn't really about winning football games right now. So it's very tough. Guys, if you're new to the channel, my name's Jay, host of the Jay All Day NFL Show. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button. It really would help the channel out. We're up to 15,368 subscribers, so make sure you check out the channel, guys. Yeah, I think the Giants that defense is really talented, man. They're building a really nice defense there in New York for the Giants. I really like what they did in the draft, man. Bringing in Cam Scatterbo, Abdul Carter, Jackson Dart. I mean, I think they did a really, really good job in the draft. A really good job. Yeah, the Dolphins, I don't like the culture really, you know what I mean? I just don't think that they're tough enough, they're gritty enough to win a championship. Like you said, they can make the playoffs, but I don't think they could go win 4 playoff games. I don't see it. Yeah, Colin, I absolutely agree with you, buddy. I don't understand what's going on in Pittsburgh. What did they drafted what? Jalen Milroe in the 4th round? Will Howard. I would have just let Will Howard start. I don't understand the whole. Yeah, I'm a Birds fan, man, all day, Bird gang, go Birds. Yeah, I'm a Birds fan all day, baby. I was born and raised in Philly, you know. Yeah, I don't understand what's going on in Miami. I don't know. They're in a weird spot. Bird gang, go Birds. Yeah, Anthony, I don't think hitting the restart button in Miami is a bad idea. I mean, if you take a look at this roster, man, the secondary's, is Jalen Ramsey going to be there, right? I mean, that remains to be seen. And if he's gone, I don't know what the hell they're going to do. That secondary is really, really, really bad. They don't have a lot of depth anywhere. The offensive line is not great either. Right now, Patrick Paul, the 2nd-round pick from Houston, is penciled in to be the left tackle, right? What's going to happen there, guys? Yeah, I mean, Colin, it's a big deal, man. Zeitler's gone too, and Ragnow for the Lions. That's a huge, 2 really good players in the middle of that offensive line. They still got really good tackles and Decker and Penei Sewell, right? But they're gonna have, I do like the guy they got from Georgia. I think he's a really good prospect, but he's a rookie. You know what I mean? For a team that has championship aspirations, Tate Ratledge, that's a lot. And then you got Glasgow starting at center now. They might be in play for some cuts, for some guys to come in and compete at center. Yeah, Saquon tore it up, man. Saquon, let's go. Yeah, 100%. The Lions, a lot of moving parts there, so it's going to be a struggle for them, I think, especially the first, 6 to 8 weeks of the season, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome, guys. My name's Jay, host of the Jay All Day NFL Show. I appreciate you guys tuning in and checking out the channel. Thank you, guys. We just added 2 new subscribers, up to 15,370 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, the safeties, the cornerback room is really thin too. CTE, really, really thin. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Anthony, 100%. He's another guy that he's got talent, but everywhere he goes, it's always a problem. There's always issues, always something. It's like Tyreek. They just keep bringing in these guys that constantly destroy cultures. Tyreek Hill. And I love what the Chiefs did. They just let him walk. They're like, we don't want to put up with your BS. And they let him walk. And I thought that was a, good cultural thing that the Chiefs did. Player any day, man. Yeah, I think Jalen Ramsey's a bit of a diva. I wouldn't want him in my locker room either. Yeah, Colin, but thing is, when you bring in new offensive coordinators and new defensive coordinators, most of the time they bring in a new scheme. So you got to learn new plays, a new playbook, new cadences. It's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work learning that new offense. And guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you go check out my long form videos. Check out the last video I posted. I'm giving away a free Jamar Chase autograph photo. So make sure you check out that video to see how to enter the contest. Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, some NFL players are just in it for the money, man, 100%. So, I mean, not everyone cares about winning a championship, man, you know? Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that culture, when you have a young head coach, it could be a little bit more difficult to establish, like, rule over these guys. When you have, like, a 30-year-old coach, you know, does he command the respect of the locker room, right? I don't know if I'm like hiring like a young, hotshot, 30-year-old head coach. Some of them work out great, but most of them don't. You know what I mean? Sean McVay kind of being the exception. I can't really think of another guy that was hired in their 30s that like turned out to be an amazing coach, right? So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think the Dolphins are in for a growing pain season for sure, guys. Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, the Lions still should be good. The secondary is looking really good. They brought in DJ Reed. They got Kirby Joseph, who was really, really good last year. And Brian Branch was amazing. He's gotten better year after year. The second-round pick from 2023 out of Alabama. Brian Branch was great. I think Terrion Arnold, you know, he was awful last year, straight up. He was bad. So hopefully he gets a little bit better too. You know what I mean? In year two, big learning experience for him. Aiden Hutchinson should be back healthy, you know. Yeah, I agree with you, BZ, 100%, man. Coordinators are so important, right? And a lot of these NFL schemes, you know, you have these coaches that are like more like generals, right? Like kind of like how Nick Sirianni is. He doesn't call the plays, right? So having good coordinators, you know, Nick has done a really good job hiring coordinators, right? You know what I mean? Kellen Moore got a head coaching job. Jonathan Gannon got a head coaching job. You know what I mean? A lot of these guys, you know, that are in the system in Philadelphia have went on to be head coaches, right? Who is my dark horse to win offensive rookie and defensive rookie of the year? Dude, I love Trey Harris. I think he could be a big factor in the Chargers offense, man. Big-bodied wide receiver. And I also like Jaden Higgins from the Texans, man. I think he could really take over as being the true number 2 guy in that offense behind Nico Collins. I mean, and you got to look at the running backs too, Amarion Hampton, Ashton Genty. I think they're going to be very big contributors early in their careers, right? Defensive Rookie of the Year, it's really hard. I got to see them play a little bit. It's really, really tough to see because I don't know about with snap count-wise. We'll know a little bit more once we get through training camp, like which some of these rookies are kind of standing out and are going to get more playing time. Yeah, Redneck Ghost, I tend to agree with you, man. I think the Broncos and the Chargers both have a chance of upseating the Chiefs, man, for sure. Yeah, I think this Chiefs roster is pretty mediocre, guys. So I definitely think that the Chiefs have a, you know, I would say over 50% chance of not winning the AFC West. I really think. I think that team doesn't look great. Not a lot of depth. You know, Pacheco and Rashee Rice are both coming off of injuries, right? So, I mean, come on. Yeah, I mean, it all depends how that, Anthony, it's like the head coach has to demand improvement and excellence, right? And I think that Nick Sirianni's done a really good job with that, right, in Philadelphia. It's like whatever new coach comes in, there's a standard, and you got to adhere to the standard. Culture is everything. Look at the Ravens and how much success they've had over the last 15 years. It's a culture thing, man. And then it like permeates from top of the organization, down to the bottom. It starts with the owner and the GM and then the coaches, and it kind of all stems out from there, man. Culture is a big thing in the NFL, man. Yeah, Redneck Ghost, but the offensive line terrifies me, bro. The offensive line terrifies me, Redneck Ghost. Thoughts on the Bengals? The defense still is, they didn't get much better, man. So, like, I don't know. I don't understand what's going on. And then, like, they're not giving their boy Hendrickson his deal. He's the only really good player on that whole freaking defense, right? So, like, I don't know. I think it's going to be very similar to last year. Like, the offense is going to have to carry the team. Like, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, you know, and Joe Burrow. And their offensive line's not great either. I mean, if you take a look at the offensive line, there's nobody that's great on that whole offensive line. So, I don't know. I don't think the Bengals have what it takes to, like, win a championship. They don't have enough depth. Yeah, CTE, I agree with you, buddy. Yeah, I mean, that division, Stanley, has not been competitive at all for a decade. The Broncos, Raiders, and Chargers have all been really bad the last 10 years. And we saw the Broncos and Chargers take a little step forward this year. But before that, it was very similar to like when Brady and New England went on those runs for all those years, right? The AFC East was a dumpster fire. The Jets, the Bills, and the Dolphins were all so bad when Brady was on his runs. Awful. Like, horrible for decades. Yeah, I mean, Eagles fans are very irrational human beings, right? You know what I mean? Like, they're like a what are you doing for me lately type of fan base, right? So a lot of Eagles fans, if you're stinking in the moment, they have a tough time looking at the big picture. Yeah, I mean, Redneck goes, when I take a look at the offensive line, A, they're not very good. And B, there's no depth. Like, who's good on that? Like, Cam Robinson is going to be starting left tackle. That is a serious downgrade from Tunsil. Then you got Tomlinson at left guard. You know, he's 30. He's going to be 34 soon. He's old. And then Jake Andrews, he's penciled in to start at center. He didn't play at all in 2024. You know, he played a little bit in 2023, but he was not very good. He was a rookie, so I don't know. Is he going to take a step forward at the center position? I'm not sure. And then we got Titus Howard. He's penciled in to start at the guard position. And then we got Blake Fisher from Notre Dame, who I really liked in college, but he was awful last year. 44 PFF grade, awful. He was terrible, man. Yeah, CT, the Lions definitely got to stay healthy. I mean, yeah, the Commanders are really, really good. I mean, I think the Giants are going to surprise some people this year too, man. That defense in New York is seriously really, really fucking good, man. Like, really, really, really good. Like, Abdul Carter, Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Okereke, you know, and they have, what's his name too? Thibodeau or whatever his name is. He's still on the roster to be, like, cycled in, right? So, I mean, come on, guys. That defense is really, really, really good. Yeah. They got Thibodeau, Brian Burns. I mean, even what's his name? Victor Dumuk. I don't know how I'm butchering this name. Dumukage. Victor I can't say that name. Dumukage. Yikes, that's a nightmare. But 2024, he didn't play a lot of snaps, but he played pretty good. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do, Redneck Ghost, with this offensive line. I'm very concerned. I watched them because I bet on them a lot early in the season, so I watched a lot of Texans games the first 6 weeks, and it was a shit show, man. It was really hard to watch. They did not look like they had a clue what the hell was going on. It was really crazy. But guys, if you're new to the channel, go check out my latest long form video. I'm doing a free Jamar Chase autographed 11x14 photo authenticated by Players Inc. So make sure you go check out that video and it'll tell you how to get into the contest. It's an awesome photo. Yeah, I mean, I like what the Panthers are doing. I like what they did in the draft. I'm a fan. They're getting there. Their offensive line was sneakily pretty good last year, man. So I think the Panthers are, getting there. Getting there. We'll have to see if Xavier Legette can take a step forward this year, so. And they got Teterow McMillan. They got, Adam Thielen still on the roster. Jatavion Sanders, the tight end from Texas, I was really disappointed in him last year. He was pretty awful. Yeah, I don't know. Is Patrick Paul good enough to start in the NFL? We'll have to see. Christina Amaral, welcome to the chat. Go Birds! Guys, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you check out my latest long-form video for that free Jamar Chase giveaway. I love giving away stuff on the channel, guys. That's why you got to hit that like button and subscribe. Woo, baby. Redneck goes, you nailed that. The Saints are going to be tough to watch. Yeah, I mean, Bryce Young's definitely not the biggest guy in the world, right? But Xavier Legette needs to learn how to run some routes that aren't go balls, right? So Xavier Legette needs to learn to run some intermediate routes, some digs, some posts, some, 15 to 12-yard curls and comebacks. He needs to, even some drag routes. He needs to figure out ways to get open. Yeah, BZ, it's going to be an interesting year. I'm curious to see, because, the Steelers are going to want to run the football a lot, so I'm curious to see how that jives with Aaron Rodgers and his, process, right? Yeah, Redneck goes, I agree with that. I think the Falcons will be better than people think, too. They got to do a little bit better job on defense getting after the quarterback, but their offensive line is, under the radar pretty good. And they got Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, Darnell Mooney, Drake London. They got the weapons. And Michael Penix Jr. can sling it all over the yard, right? So if they can, play as a team. But Atlanta, I feel like every year they look good on paper, but when they get in between the numbers, they just play like shit. Yeah, that's exactly what he did in New York. He got the GM fired, the head coach fired. Everybody's out of town, boy. Woo! And he gets to keep his job playing like ass. He's very limited in the pocket now, man. Not a ton of athleticism left in that 41-year-old body. Not a lot of juice left, guys. But, yeah, I think that Buccaneers-Falcons game is one of my favorite games of the week. One of my favorite freaking games of the week, guys. So, I like what they're doing, man. That's going to be a fun game. I think that Giants-Washington game is going to be a really sneaky 1-2. I'm telling you, this Giants defense is going to give teams a lot of trouble. And I think Russell Wilson's really good at keeping his team in games. He doesn't really turn the ball over a lot. So I think the Giants are going to play a lot of really close games this year. Yes, Stanley. I mean, the Eagles got a really tough schedule. A lot of Eagles fans are like, it's not that tough of a schedule, and I disagree. I 100% disagree. So, for me, the Eagles have a very tough schedule. So if they win 12 games with that murderer's row of a schedule, I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? My prediction for the Eagles this year is 12-5. Yeah, BZ, the offensive line for the Giants is definitely one of the weaker spots on that roster, but they do have a really good, left tackle that's really, really good. Andrew Thomas is an excellent left tackle. Really good player. I'm a big fan. The rest of the offensive line, Runyon, Van Rotten, Ali Manure, it leaves a little bit to be desired, right? So, I wish the Giants would have went a little heavier earlier on offensive line. They also brought in Darius Alexander, too, a guy I absolutely love. And, Cam Scatterboot is a freaking dog. Little G, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to the chat. How's it going, pal? Yeah, Redneck Ghost. Jaden Higgins, honestly, was my favorite wide receiver in the draft class. I watched this tape, and I was more excited about Jaden Higgins than all the other wide receivers from this draft class. I love Jaden Higgins. I think he's going to be an absolute freaking monster. Him and Nico Collins are going to be bad MFs, dude. Bad MFs. Like, I think they're going to be crushing the game, guys. Crushing it. But I appreciate you guys all tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe to the channel, guys. I am really, really excited about this upcoming season, guys. I'm going to be breaking down week 1, all these rosters as we get closer and closer to the NFL season. Thank you guys. We're up to 15,369 subscribers. I appreciate you guys all tuning in and saying what's up. And make sure you subscribe to the channel for all things NFL as we get closer and closer to the NFL season. Jay, in terms of betting for games, what is your one upset alert from a bad team that you think might have a playoff team out of nowhere that nobody expects? Arizona Cardinals, man. I think the Arizona Cardinals, they got a pretty easy schedule. So, the Cardinals got a sneaky good roster, man. You take a look at this roster in Arizona, and you're like, oh, shit. They got something there, man. I mean, they got Budda Baker on defense, Josh Sweat. They drafted Will Johnson. If he could stay healthy, immediate impact player, Walter Nolan. I mean, they got Collins, Xavier Collins, who's had back-to-back pretty good years. And then on offense, you got Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride, James Conner. I wish they got a number 2 wide receiver. They really need a number 2. Like, really, really, really bad. Right? In their draft, Walter Nolan, Will Johnson, Cody Simon from Ohio State, excellent linebacker, man. I love that. I like what Arizona's doing. They definitely need a number 2 wide receiver really, really bad. Can Dorsch or Wilson step up in this offense, or one of these younger guys? Maybe. We'll have to see what happens. Yeah, Redneck Ghost, I tend to agree with that. If you watch the channel, I'm not a big Anthony Richardson fan. I think he kind of sucks. So he's very inaccurate with the football. I'm not a fan at all whatsoever. And I honestly think that the Colts offense will function better with Daniel Jones. People might think I'm crazy, but yeah, Redneck Ghost, I tend to agree. That division's kind of up in the air. I think the Rams are probably the best team in that division, but I don't know how the Seahawks and 49ers are going to look. Jalen, what's going on, dude? Jalen, make sure you watch my long-form video, bro. I'm giving away a 11x14 autographed Jamar Chase photo, buddy. So you got to check that out and enter the contest. Yeah, Redneck Ghost, you know that I'm not a big Anthony Richardson guy. I don't think he's played enough football, and when he does, he's so inaccurate with the ball. Sometimes he looks really great. He's a super athletic guy, but I think at the end of the day, I don't think he's an NFL starting quarterback. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Straight up. I don't see it. We'll see what happens. But maybe he'll prove me wrong. We'll see what happens. Yeah, you got to check it out, dude. I'm going to run the contest probably another week or 2 on that video. What's up, Rick? Welcome to the chat, buddy. Yeah, wide open looks. He throws balls you got to give your guy a chance. That's why I think Shedeur Sanders is going to be a lot better than people are giving him credit for, is because he always gives his wide receivers a chance to make a play. And that's so valuable in the NFL. You got to be accurate enough to allow these big-time playmakers to make plays. Thoughts on Aaron Glenn having Bible study during camp? Yeah, I think there should be a separation between, church and state, right? I kind of agree with that in the football field too. But if you want to pray and that's your bag, cool. But not everyone's going to be all about that stuff, so I think that's a little weird. Not for me. If you're religious, more power to you, man. I'm not particularly, but I'm always open for people to practice whatever religion they want to. But I don't think like opening up Bible study in the middle of your training camp is a good idea. That's just my personal beliefs. But whatever works for them. If it can fix the Jets, hey, more power to them, man. More power to them. But I appreciate you guys tuning into the chat. I'm going to wrap it up tonight. It looks like everyone's heading to bed. So I'll catch you guys on the next video. Appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you check out the long form content, and I'll catch you on the next video. Have a great night. Peace. Don't forget to subscribe.